Yeah, welcome back to Heartwood Turning in the Stable Studio. This afternoon's project, or this evening's project, is a hollow form from a piece of Magnolia. So I hope you enjoy this little video. There's a little bit of talking at the beginning, and then I'll do some voiceover later. Between centres, step centre on this end, step drive centre, and on the other end we have a step live centre. I'll just roughly get to the middle. And as we move left, we can start to peel the wood off. There we go. I'll show you that from the overhead. So we're going to anchor the tool on the tool rest, rub the bevel, lift the handle, pick up the cut, and slowly traverse from one side to the other. And watch this finger here is up against the tool rest. Anchor, bevel, lift the handle, pick up the cut, and traverse from right to left. Taking your shaping. Pick up the cut and just slowly traverse from left to right, keeping your finger against the tool rest. Tool's locked into my side, and just traverse across the piece. I'll do it the other way again. I just wanted to show you that a little bit in real time, guys, just the method of roughing out there. So the rest of this video will be done at varying speeds. So I'll just quickly put a tenon on the end. So that's a 10mm parting tool that I'm using, or beading and parting tool, and I'm just making a 48mm tenon on the end of this piece so we can fit it into the chuck. So that's our tenon made, and I made myself a little bit of a no cut line there to allow for parting off. You just pop it into the chuck now. Yeah, it's an SC4 chuck from Record Power. And I'm just going to quickly rough this out. The idea here is to make a sphere. So we're going to quickly rough the edges down a little bit, and very shortly we'll be setting it up to turn the sphere. I haven't got a sphere jig, so we're just going to do it by eye, but we will take a little measurement, and I'll show you that just in a second. So what we'll do now is just get the calipers right and measure the width, because I don't want to take any more off the width, and then set the width on the length if you like, so it's equal. Mark both ends, and we'll just Mark them all the way around, and that gives a guide to how far we can cut. Next thing we'll do is mark the centre. And the idea now is not to cut anything off the centre, just to leave it the way it is, and try and make this as round as possible. Never easy when you're just using your eye. You can see there that I'm just taking a little bit of time and working my way back towards the middle, just like making a bead basically. If you practiced on a bead stick, a beads and cove stick, you'll know exactly what this is. It's very, very simple. That's just a 3/8 spindle gauge that I'm using. Just a little relief cut there so that I can get the tool in better. And now we're just finessing the shape to try and get it to a place where it's round. Or as round as I can get it, just use my eye.
I used to have a job, but I got laid off. I used to have a wife, but she said she had enough. I used to have a car, but it got repossessed. It seemed the Lord had found someone he likes to
Just check the measurement again, and that's pretty close looking. So now we're just taking this end off. Because it's held in the chuck, we're going to remove the tailstock just shortly. And the next part of the process then is going to give it a little bit of sanding, and then we're going to start the hollowing process. I missed out the sanding for you. I'm far too good to use. So we'll hold it out there, a little Forstner bit. As far as it would go. And then we started the hollowing process using spindle roughing gouge, or not spindle roughing gouge, a spindle gouge. So I left that little edge on it because I want to try and protect the opening. It's actually going to come away in the end, but I left it there to try and protect the opening as we hollow out. So I hauled it out as far as I could with the spindle roughing gouge, and then I changed to the Simon Hope mini hollower to get in and get into that shoulder. When we finished the hollowing, the walls in this piece are roughly about 2.5, maybe 3 mil thick. It weighs actually nothing, so you see the benefit of leaving that little lip that's there. It actually helps to protect that edge. And now we're taking it away to leave ourselves an opening. The idea of this piece is to put to have the globe in the middle, a finial on the bottom and a finial at the top. You'll see the finished piece in there shortly. So this is all done at 6 times speed, guys, just because hollowing is pretty boring to watch. To get right down to the bottom, that's the Simon Hope Pro Hollower. Again, it's just a 6mm tool, 6mm cutter, but great big long handle. And that's my small negative rake scraper I used there just to finish off the nub in the bottom. Quick sand up, check the depth, and we're hollowed out all the way to the bottom almost. We had to leave a little bit because we're coming around the bottom to make it rounder at the bottom. And now we're preparing to, we're leaving as little as possible to hold it on, make sure it stays. Almost like a little base for it there, but that's coming off eventually anyway, so it's only there to head with the sanding. So we started off with a little bit of intrinsic colour. I'm not going to tell you how I did that, but suffice to say that it's we used intrinsic colours, and then we did the inside as well, but didn't really need to do the inside. And once we had the colour applied and kind of rubbed in and sanded back a little bit, we used some lacquer, and we lacquered this piece again, as I usually do, over 3 days. There's about 9 coats of lacquer on it. This is the finial for the top. There's a little bit of a story behind this finial too. I was actually in a chat room at this time while I was doing this with Mr. Walt. When I finished the finial, he says, "I think you may go back and do that again, because I've made the bottom onion too big," according to Mr. Walt. So we modified it.
I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. This ain't easy, darling, 'cause the devil's on my trail.
You can see there that onion's rather large at the bottom.
Don't work no more. Oh yeah. I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more.
So after a little bit of discussion, we decided that we decided that we were going to make it smaller. That's the discussion just happened there now, so let's modify the bottom onion. It's always good to have somebody else have a look at your work, and if you have the luxury, and I'm lucky enough to have people like Mike that I can call on. So that's the top finial done. Just give it a coat of Chestnut's ebonising lacquer and part it off. So we'll crack straight on with the second finial now, and this is going to have a rounded end or a cupped end for the globe to sit on, and a fairly narrow foot for the stand as well. I want it to look kind of tall and elegant. Because there's no weight in the globe itself, The width of the foot's not that important, and basically this is just an item to look at, so it shouldn't be getting moved about too much. So we'll make it similar to the top one, basically a double onion.
Love like yours, I beg, borrow, or steal. Hey now, baby, don't you play so coy. Make me all jumpy like a little boy. Beg, borrow, or steal. Beg, borrow, or steal. For a love like yours, I beg, borrow, or steal. Yeah, yeah. That little red dress, them stiletto heels, make me wanna know how your loving feels. Beg, borrow, or steal. Beg, borrow, or steal. For a love like yours, I beg, borrow, or steal. Baby, you didn't hear me, baby. Beg, borrow, or steal. Beg, borrow, or steal. Beg, borrow, or steal. I beg, borrow, or steal. For a love like yours, I beg, borrow, or steal. I said I beg, borrow, or steal. Baby, beg, borrow, or steal.
So that's the finial complete then. Give it a coat of sanding sealer. That's not bait, it's not finial really much, it's a base finial if you want to call it that. So we'll just prepare it, the tenon and the top end of it to fit into the globe or the sphere, and prepare the other end for parting off.
I'm gonna say it again. For a love like yours, I beg, borrow, steal. I said, for a love like yours, I beg, borrow, steal.
Again, coat of chestnut ebonizing lacquer. And that's the project basically done, guys. All that was left to do was to part it off, assemble the thing, and there's the finished product. It stands about 12.5, 30 inches tall. The globe itself is approximately 4 inches in circumference. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I hope you guys are. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please think about leaving a comment. I'd love to get some comments. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.